Over 170 chiefs and elders from various indigenous communities gathered in Taipei last week for a cultural exchange event. They exchanged views and made proposals to the government on issues of their concern. In these greeting remarks, Premier Liu Zhaoxuan pledged to abide by the spirits of the United Nations Declaration on Rights of Indigenous Peoples and the Taiwanese Indigenous Peoples Basic Law to promote development.
On March 23, a total of 177 indigenous leaders and elders gathered in Taipei to take part in a cultural exchange activity organized by the government. In his greeting remarks, Premier Liu Zhaoxuan pledged to honor the spirits of the Indigenous Peoples Basic Law to push for development in indigenous areas.
September 13, 2007 is a very important day because the UN Declaration on Rights of Indigenous Peoples was passed. It has made protecting the indigenous peoples' basic rights and culture a universal value. Indigenous people are the earliest settlers on our land. We will follow our indigenous people's basic law and the UN Declaration to promote their welfare and community development.
The government invited the indigenous leaders and elders to hear their opinions and concerns as reference for policymaking. The members urged the authorities to take more steps to improve the development and economic conditions of indigenous communities.
We request that the implementation details of the indigenous people's basic law be worked out soon. We've asked for it several years, but nothing comes out. Construction projects in indigenous areas are very important, especially those for the rivers and farm roads. We ask the government to care about the life of indigenous people living in the mountains and their financial conditions, and to work on the loss of our reserve land.
The Council of Indigenous Peoples Minister Zhang Renxiang said the event was held to show respect for the traditional leadership system of the indigenous people. The participating leaders urged the authorities to act on their requests and suggestions. TITV Weekly.